Hi, I'm Dan, the EDC academic, and today I'm going to be talking to you about this knife. This is the MKM Eclipse. It is a titanium frame locking flipper with titanium onlays featuring Magnacut Steel, designed by Jesper Voxnius. And if you are interested in hearing more about this knife, stick around and I'll talk to you more about it in a moment. Hello again, thank you for sticking with me. Today I'm going to be talking to you about this knife. This is the MKM Viper Eclipse. MKM stands for Maniago Knife Makers. Viper is just one of the companies that makes up that group. MKM is a consortium of 4 different Italian manufacturers, Viper, Lion Steel, and 2 others whose names are escaping me at the moment. But this particular one is made by Viper under the MKM brand. And the insignia right there, if you can see that, if it's showing up on camera, it's representing the mountains of Maniago. So that's the purpose of the insignia. And I've had this knife for about 4 months now, and I've just been so completely happy with the knife. And so that was why I wanted to talk to you about it. This knife is a frame lock flipper. This is more specifically, it's a titanium frame lock flipper. It is a purple washed titanium frame, and then it has these stone-washed titanium onlays. And it is designed by Jesper Voxnius, and it is a super smooth flipper. I don't know how well that tiny little flipping tab is going to show up. Let me try to get it in my hand and use a pointer. That's the tiny little flipper, and it is so small that you would hardly think that you'd be able to get enough purchase on it, but it's got just enough jimping there, and it sticks out just enough to where you can get that finger on it and it just shoots out. It is so smooth. It is such a nice design. It fits exceptionally well in my hand. Of course, your mileage may vary there, but in my hand, and I wear size large gloves, it just fits so naturally right there. I don't normally like knives that have this sort of like the grooves there, because I prefer just to find my grip on my own. But the way my hand in particular just orients to this knife, I get a nice full grip on there. It's only about a 3.5 finger grip, because of the way that you're sort of forced to go in that first notch there. If you wanted to move up and change your grip a little bit, you would have enough room for a full grip, a full 4-finger grip on that if you're really doing some heavy push cuts. But just for your everyday cutting tasks, which this is designed for, it is designed as an everyday carry knife. The way you just sort of intuitively grab it with your pinky finger there, just sort of coming up on the end, giving you some nice control there. It is just such a well-designed knife. Jesper Voxnius really knows what he's doing there. And this knife is one of those knives that checks a lot of boxes for spec sheet buyers. It's Magnacut. Every knife guy, every knife collector needs something in Magnacut. It's a frame locking flipper, titanium frame locking flipper. Every knife guy, every knife person needs, so it seems, a titanium frame locking flipper. And you combine that with the designers, Jesper Voxnius, the manufacturer of MKM, the blade steel of Magnacut, and you end up with just an outstanding little knife here. It also has the titanium spacer there at the back. It is so well designed. Just to give you a size comparison, I'm looking at some stats here. The overall closed length is 4.33 inches, and this is how it compares to the Victorinox Tinker. So if 4.33 inches doesn't mean a whole lot to you, I'm assuming that most of you watching are familiar with the Victorinox Tinker. So that's the size comparison. And what I really like about the design of this, some people are very much into blade to handle ratio. And that's not normally a statistic that means a whole lot to me. I don't put a whole lot of importance to that. It's important as you want it to be, I suppose, but to me it's not all that important, because it kind of depends on what you want the blade to do and what you want the handle to do. This knife, I don't know how to explain it. it looks like the blade shouldn't fit inside the handle. And I think that's just because of the enhanced belly. Look at that big old swoop there of the belly. Just sort of visually, the blade commands so much more space than the handle does, and so it's an interesting little optical trick to where you almost wouldn't think it would fit inside the handle, but obviously it does because it's a folding knife. I've been showing you here the flipping mechanism, very good. The thumb flip mechanism, very good. You can spidey flick this also. You have to be a little bit more particular about how you grab it. For me, I like to pinch it right there toward the pivot and kind of get my last two fingers, kind of get them settled around the pocket clip area, and then kind of get your finger in there. Then you can do the spidey flip thing. It's an option, but again, you have to be just a little bit more particular about where you're putting your hands. But that is an opening option. So you got those three opening methods: the spidey flick, the thumb flip, and of course the traditional flipper. And of course, you always have the option of doing a slow thumb roll like that. And this is just such a, I think it's just a beautiful knife. It fits exceptionally well in the hand. It operates smoothly. Everything about it is just perfect. It arrived perfectly centered. It arrived perfectly sharp, perfectly smooth. It just instantly, just sort of, melted into my hand there. Always a firm and positive grip. I just love the shape of that blade, almost like a drop point, but it's kind of like a leaf shape. It's got that extended belly to it. I think it is an elegant knife, and at the purchase price of about $230, it might not be a knife for everyone, but if you are in the market for a premium titanium Magnacut flipper, I would highly recommend this one. So with all those things being said, I'm going to go ahead and bring this video to a close. I'm going to thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.